Hello everyone and welcome to this week's edition of Environment Matters. I'm Annette Hoskins. They're calling it the Tug River Tire Tug of War, a massive effort last week to remove thousands of illegally discarded tires from the Tug Fork at Williamson. The DEP's Mike Huff has more.
Imagine if you took all the vehicles in this parking lot, and this parking lot, and this parking lot, and removed all their tires and dumped them into a stretch of river no longer than a football field. You'd still have to come up with a couple of hundred more tires to match what the DEP and a small team of volunteers removed last week from the Tug Fork River in Williamson.
This is more than we've seen anywhere else we've cleaned up. We're barely putting a dent in what we're doing here, and we're going to probably come out of here with over 2,000 tires.
2,340 to be exact, all hauled out of a roughly 100-yard section of river over the course of 4 grueling days of back-breaking work.
This process is incredibly hard. They're usually sucked down to the bottom with, in the silt and stuff, and they have to get that up, and then they have to clean it out. They usually have to rinse the tires out before you can even start trying to handle them because they're so heavy. I mean, the tires get handled at least 5 times before they'll be disposed of today. They come from the river into a boat, from the boat onto the bank down here. They get winched up the hill, they get handled again here, they get loaded in the truck, and then they go to the disposal place and they have to be handled again. So it's just labor intensive.
And it's something that couldn't be done without the help of volunteers. The recently formed group, Friends of the Tug Fork River, inspired by the DEP's recent tire cleanups on the Elk and Coal Rivers, approached the agency's REAP program for help.
He called us up and we said, well, you all want to do a cleanup, we'll make it happen. We couldn't do cleanups like this without volunteers. I mean, you can hire contractors and hire everything, but it just takes so many people to get out on that river and pull those tires up out of that stuff, and it's not easy work. It's really hard work.
The cleanup crew was also helped by the unusually hot, dry weather.
We've really got perfect conditions right now to do this. Water's probably as low as it's been in lots of years, and it's really clear and it's easy to work. So we usually don't do these cleanups until this far into the year. I mean, we usually don't, we try to cut them off middle of September early. I mean, here we're into October and we still got conditions where we can put people in the water.
And as we've shown you from earlier cleanups this summer, the DEP's HydroTrack also got plenty of work, from dislodging tires buried in a sandbar to acting as a towboat for a flotilla of tire-laden john boats.
It's made an incredible difference. We're able to work, this section of stream we're working upstream, bringing the tires downstream, going back upstream, getting more tires. We're able to work up and down and move around in the river, and that we haven't had that ability before.
The site is just downstream from a sharp bend in the river, and local residents say the problem became much worse after the big flood of 1977. But as for how so many discarded tires ended up in this one spot, it's anybody's guess. I
don't really know why there's so many tires here in this one spot. I mean, it's, the one thing I will say is all these tires, like we've been getting everywhere else, have been really old tires. So it doesn't look like tires are going in the river now. It looks like something that's been done in the past, and we're just now getting to the point where we can start cleaning them up. I think what you're doing here is that this river now is starting to get to to where the Coal River was several years ago. You got people looking at the ability to bring tourists in here and bring the tourist trade in here, and you bring them in to ride the Hatfield-McCoy Trail. Well, it's just prime to have them float these rivers with their kayaks at the same time. They just make it into a trip, and like I said, they're beautiful rivers. It's just need a little bit of help.
Along the Tug Fork in Williamson, I'm Mike Huff for Environment Matters.
In addition to the DEP and volunteer crews, employees from the City of Williamson and Mingo County Commission assisted with the cleanup. Organizers say this is just a small fraction of the tires that need to be removed from the Tug Fork, and they say they're up for the challenge. Plans for another cleanup next year are already underway. That's all for this week. For Environment Matters, I'm Annette Hoskins. Thanks for watching.